basically, I wanted to try something new. I wanted to really, really engage with the community that is Love City. Love City, I think it's such a beautiful place because, well, here, I got notes about what we are. Love City Arts Collective is an all inclusive art service organization. The collective is also an artistic home to New York City based artists. These artists seek to give their gifts back to the community in the service of love. We make music, we share resources through workshops, classes, blog posts, podcasts, and giveaways, and community organizing. And we also gather to hold space through music, art, and the spoken word. And the mission is basically to heal and empower artists and community through renewal and transformation.
Praise God.
Praise. And so hopefully you hear something today, everybody, from Jamari and myself that uplifts you. 7 years ago, when I moved to New York City, I used to sit in my bedroom and be so sad because I didn't know where my people were. All I knew was Ripley Greer.
And good old Pearl Studios, Pearl 500, Pearl 519.
Where they had literally taken shits on the floor over there.
I'm out.
So if your life was literally encountering that and then going home and not having anybody to like giggle and chop it up with, it could be really a sad place. So
New York.
I see we've got one viewer that's here. So if you are, I don't know who the viewer is and I don't know how to see it. So please leave us a comment. We've got 2 viewers. Leave us a comment and let us know who you are in this space as we talk about Ripley Greer and all of the shenanigans. And also give us a thumbs up if you're here so that we can know that you're in the space. So if that's all you have to look forward to, then it could get really, really sad. So I created Love City Arts in order to allow people to have a home, either online or in New York City, where we're not going to judge you. We're not going to come for you. We're not going to give you a hard time about being, extra, because artists are extra.
Always
extra. So, that's what it is. So anyway, India's here. Hey, India.
How you doing?
India is the social media coordinator for Love City Arts, and we love her and her support. And if she hangs around for long enough, we could probably invite her on into the party. Let's see. What else am I supposed to be doing here? Yeah, we're a live space. So now's the opportunity for people who are viewing to share if they want to. And just know that later on in this episode, if you want to jump in and ask questions, you can chat and comment those below in your Facebook Live. And also, if you want to come on to see and be seen, we'll also offer that opportunity. How do we check? This is my first time doing this. So let me see how we check comments here. Hey, boo. I see you, India. Great. All right. So Jamari Johnson Williams is on. He and I met each other in Virginia. I was literally being his little at the time. I got the opportunity to not understudy. What do you call it? Swing. That's those swinging days. All the parts. And one thing I loved about Jamari was that no matter what was going on, we were doing like marathon shows and like 6-7 shows a day and paying the dues. Yeah, exactly. No matter what was going on in the campus and around, this guy had a love for art and like a fire in him. He loved to laugh. I'm talking about you like you're not even here. You love to laugh and share, and you always brought the noise and the funk to the stage. Can dance his ass off, can sing his ass off, and it's just a wonderful and gives the best hug. So, anyway, I've said what I feel about you. What do you feel about you?
A lot of things.
Who are you as an artist? What are you trying to put out into the world? I guess is my question.
Everything in their mama. I mean, I like to identify as a Renaissance man, if you will.
Okay.
Do it all.
Yeah.
Do it all.
Yes. When you say do it all, what do those things look like? Like where do you? Because you went to AMDA, right?
I did.
Okay. And what was that experience like for you?
That was 2 long years, honey, of strict conservatory training.
Yeah.
They had us in there twirling. They had us in there singing. They had us in there crying. They had us in there laughing, doing all the things. And it was definitely an invaluable experience. It was between that or the good old NYU, actually.
Okay.
And AMDA proved to be the better choice.
No, where? Of course. I don't know much about it. Like, how many kids are rolling through the program at one time?
We had one of the biggest classes. I swear it was like 300. I might be making that number up, but like an insane amount of. That was the 2012, fall 2012. We had an insane amount, and just about almost every single one of them dropped out.
No. See, I'm thinking that AMDA is one of those schools, like Fame School, where there's like 32 kids twirling around and like.
I mean, yes. I mean, but it's hard. It's strict training. You aren't allowed to audition while you're attending the school. Like they want to mold you and put you out in the world.
Okay. So roll me back to where are you from originally? Because I don't know your origin story.
Absolutely, Gifford, Florida.
You from where?
Gifford.
Were there crocodiles running down the street?
Plenty.
No, I was expecting you to say no. It's not like that. No, it's like that.
We got crocodiles. We got armadillos. We got foxes. Whatever you want.
Okay. Okay. So take me back to your senior year. Were you active in high school drama and arts and things like that?
Yes. I was a little bit of a late bloomer to the theater scene. I transferred to the good old St. Edward School and giving them a little shout out.
Okay, shout out.
And that's all I'm gonna give them. Better like. But that me transferring to that private school and having the choice to take up different arts that I might not have been afforded at different schools really, really, really changed my life. And I discovered I had a knack for it, and discovered I actually loved it.
Cool. And so you said it was between NYU and AMDA, and you decided to go to AMDA. It's cheaper, more of a place you wanted to be, and you went through that whole process. And then after, what happened for you?
They chewed us up and spit us out. I graduated in spring 2014 and just started working.
Yeah. And like I said, I can tell that you really, really, really love what you do. Like it's like you come alive like a Christmas tree. Okay, so beyond just being on stage and being under the lights and all that goes along with that, one creative to another, I know what that feeling is like. Like why? Tell me why do you do what you do?
I almost can't put it into words. It's really a feeling. And I'll tell you the first time I felt that feeling, and it's almost like chasing the dragon, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
The first show I ever did at the good old St. Edward's in the Waxlax Performing Arts Center, honey. Was Little Shop of Horrors. And my amazing, amazing director and now friend, Jennifer Patty, cast me as Audrey 2. And back in that day, I was excruciatingly shy. I could barely talk to people, barely look people in the eye. I was just like, no, don't look at me. So it was and she saw something in me, and it was the perfect segue because he's just the voice, and the man eating plants just like chomping away at people. So I got to hide behind a veil and still put myself forward. And then at the very end, during the curtain call, they allowed me to crawl on through, and the plant would open, and I popped right out. And I'll never forget. I think it was closing night, freshman year of high school. And for some reason, because I was backstage, so I didn't have a costume, so I took myself into our little costume shop, put on a full tuxedo. A full black and white tuxedo and for some reason yellow socks, just because.
Makes total sense to me. Yes.
And I remember, and it was the first time I'd done anything like this. First time I was really singing in front of people. It was bananas. You would have never guessed. And the last night, I popped out of the plant as I had done 2 times before, and was just greeted with just this standing ovation, just this warmth, this reassurance, however many words you can say. It was just swelled over me, and I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah.
I loved I loved that. I loved being seen. I loved expressing myself, and that being accepted, and I wanted to feel that forever. I loved it. I fell in love with
Yeah.
it.
What does it mean for you to be seen? Because I think one of the things, and I go I go off book sometimes. Um, for us as artists, we are under the lights and we're often on zero in the center of the stage. And we can be seen. It's really weird that you can be seen by all of your audience members, but then not be seen in some areas of your life at the same time,
Exactly.
or, when, because there's no everlasting gobstopper of a contract. So when it's over, it's over. Like, what do you do? How do you navigate that space of being seen and not being seen?
Barely. Honestly, barely. And I guess that's why we keep doing it, just chasing that feeling. But also just brings me joy. And nothing brings me more joy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
really love it, and I hate
When
everything else.
And I love it so much, and I hate everything else. It's really hard. It is really hard as artists to go to these day jobs and to make these ducats and make ends meet when like. And I feel like it's like this like superpower that I have. I always tell people that like singing is my Superman thing, and like.
Hello.
And then doing all those other jobs is like my Clark Kent stuff. And I just sit there sometimes like, if you motherfuckers only knew.
If you knew, I was about to jump off this table into the splits.
Like it just let have. Speaking of which, have you been doing splits like that since you were a kid? Were you a child? You said you were a late bloomer.
No.
Because for those of you who can't see, you can go to like our Love City Art social media or go to Jamari's Jamari on Instagram. You can go to social media. He's built like a football player, but
That's what I did, honey.
can twirl. Okay. So now, like,
Well, I was originally. I'm literally like the quintessential like High School Musical story. I swear to God. Just jockey, jock. But I also did so many things. I mean, music wasn't anything new because I also played instruments.
What instruments?
I played primarily the violin and tuba, but also dabbled in the viola, the cello. I know how a piano works.
I see you, young, gifted, and black.
I told you everything. I did everything. So music wasn't a stranger to me, but as far as using my voice as an instrument, I discovered that much later on in life. So it was instruments and sports, and that main sport was football. State champion junior year.
The whole crocodile state.
Yes, God. Right. That one.
Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it. So yeah, you do come from a lot of different backgrounds. I mean, what would you say to someone that's watching that may be scared of kind of stepping out their comfort zone and moving into like a different area?
Do it. Period. Don't listen to any of those outside forces, because I did that for the longest time. I spent most of my high school experience just like battling between football and theater, especially because they take up so much of your time, and football is a year-round sport. Don't be fooled. And it just got to the. I mean, I do have a definite date where I like shut down football for good, because I just literally had to choose. But it was a whole battle, and I just had to dig deep inside myself and really figure out which of the two I loved, because unfortunately I couldn't do both anymore, and I chose the arts.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that like we choose the art chooses us. It's this
Hello.
huge like big embrace.
And
Um,
and that's not encouraged because I mean, people might celebrate me now, but trust and believe when I finally quit the football team my senior year and whatnot, as much as my teammates loved me and I loved them, borderline bullied. Like if we really want to talk about borderline bullied, my
let's talk
coaches don't
about
even
it.
talk to me anymore. If we really want to dive into it, let's do it. Because I'll tell you, it was literally my junior year. Spilling all the tea right now. So literally my junior year, we were at football practice. We were probably like, I don't know, 3 games away from winning the championship. Our coaches are going ham. Mind you, because of the way my school was set up, you know, like a fourth of the team was also, you know, in the school musical, and the musical that year was Little Women. And
Wait, they sing in Little Women. Not to derail your story, but they
no,
sing.
all good. Yes, they do.
Okay, keep going, keep going.
And I was Cassis Rodrigo, one of the superheroes in Joe's story, the main sister in her story. Um, you know, well, I was going to say small part, but that's wrong. There's no such thing as small parts.
Come on.
But a valiant part, when a beautiful blue shirt that I had and a nice little, like long, I don't even know what you would call it, like Zorro type hat. It was amazing.
Okay.
So we'd like do football practice. We'd do like 3/4 of football practice. Then we'd leave a little early so we could catch dinner and then, you know, go into tech and whatnot. It was tech week. And, you know, because we were so close to the championship, I had, you know, it got to the point where I had to like, you know, bug my coaches like, hey, is it time to go? Because, you know, deep down inside, I knew that's where I really wanted to be. But, you know, I did everything like a crazy person. And I just remember one day, you know, here comes little Jamari, like, hi, coach, is it about that time? Can we leave yet? And he like flat out said, no.
He knew where you wanted to go. Did he know where you wanted to go?
Oh, absolutely. They literally, my director and my coaches literally worked out this agreement, because there were so many players that were also in the show and whatnot. Like this was set in stone, all these things. And one day he was just like, no, you're not going anywhere. And I was devastated. I didn't know what to do. I stayed because I was young and naive. And I don't know, that feeling just felt so terrible. It's like he just like ripped my soul out of me, and at that moment I knew at that moment that I wasn't gonna go back. Like I finished out the season, got my ring, and then said, "Peace out. I'm gonna do what I love." That definitely threw it in my face. It gave me no choice.
Well, I mean, that's one thing I love about the universe too. Like, it will often put these situations in our lives where it's kind of like, oh, this is bringing me closer to my truth. So
absolutely.
Even though it felt like her, and so we need to just take a moment to put a pin in that. Like sometimes you think that these things are hurtful and that's the worst thing that could ever happen, but it's pushing you towards your destiny all the same.
Absolutely.
Speaking of pushing you towards your destiny, what recent projects have you worked on that you're really, really proud of?
I was just in a wonderful music video by the good old Cynthia Ming. Shout out Cynthia, how you doing, girl?
Okay.
Who just opened Hadestown on the good old BUA. Amazing composer, amazing instrumentalist as well. She composed this beautiful song called Milwaukee is a Lonely Place, based off of her grandfather's journals when he immigrated into America. And it just talks about how lonely it is just being in this foreign country, being thrust into this world, you know, working nonstop to help your family, sacrificing everything, and just like dwelling in that lonely space. And you know, a friend of a friend, they were looking for dancers of color, and friend of a friend recommended me. I got the job, and we put together this beautiful piece. I mean, I'm yes. See, I'm down to myself. Don't do it. I am a triple threat.
Yeah.
And I still have a hard time convincing myself that I really am a dancer, even though I absolutely love it. And
even though you spend like a time. Okay, so we recently did a. Now I gotta stop because we recently did a online roundtable about imposter syndrome and those gremlins that sit on your shoulder.
Literally, and to this day,
I mean, you're sitting here telling me about a dance, like
about a music video that is literally on YouTube right now, and I'm like, I'm not a dancer.
and I'm like, well, what is this? What is Are you kidding me? Yeah, it's wild. What do you think that's about? Because I know where. Perfection. Oh,
for me, seeking that perfection.
Yeah, like you think it's that artist thing that we have where we just want it to be our best, you know, even though we're not machines.
We're human beings.
Yeah. Does anybody else that's in this space? We got 3 viewers right now. Does anybody else in this space deal with that feeling of imposter syndrome? Like what do you do when that comes up for you? But do exactly what you just did and say, boop, knock boop, that shit off.
Mm-hmm.
Truly. Yeah. Because I mean, I don't get me on a soapbox, but I'm of the belief that your I am statements allow the universe to bring more to you. So the more that you say, I am a singer, I am a dancer, I'm an artist, I'm a basket weaver, I'm a soap maker, whatever your I am is, the more that you say what your I am thing is, the more those things start running across the universe towards you.
It's so true. It literally rewires your brain. And you just naturally fall into your blessings. Hello.
Come on. Pass the plate, somebody.
Come on.
Just pass the plate.
It's yours.
It's just for that. So another heavy question: what do you do when you get stuck? Like, okay, so let me paint you a picture. Like, we're in, because I know this. You were in Ripley Greer. Mm-hmm. You're in there. You didn't get a good night's rest because you really, really want to put your best foot forward for this job or whatever. And you're sitting there and you're kind of in this space of like, oh gosh, I got to go in here and get these people like 20 seconds of the best that I can on this piece of. After waiting all day, like, you know, how do you?
There's just a force in it, maybe it's my love for it. There's just a force in me that's just like, no, Jamari, you have to do this. You're here. This is what you love. Just do what you do best.
Yeah.
I'm a crazy person. Like, no matter how I'm feeling. I mean, child, I'm not gonna go into what's going on in my life because we're all going through it. But you know, I've never been the person to just like. No, I can't say it's never happened, but you know, I'm not the type of person to just sit at home and sulk and whatnot. I'll literally set my alarm clock. I'll set 6 alarm clocks to make sure my ass is up. I will warm up, do all the things, drag myself down there, wait in line. Running back and forth between studios, like I'm
actually I'm gonna pause you there because I forget that there are people in the world who aren't as immersed in the musical theater. True. Could you run our viewers and the replay viewers through what a typical day in the life for because everybody sees when you take that bow, everyone sees when you're on that stage.
Exactly.
You know, and there's going to be a podcast episode and a television show episode that's going to come out soon from Talia Gurdine. She talks about, you only know my glory, you don't know my story.
Exactly.
And so can you tell us about the story? Like, what is a typical day like in the day of a musical theater, New York-based musical theater actor? Go.
Okay, so typical day, peak of audition season, Jamari Johnson Williams is probably waking up at 5 a.m. Who knows when I fell asleep? Who knows? Guarantee you it's after 12 p.m. After 12 in the morning, because I'm a vampire. I'm waking up at 5. I'm hopping in the shower. I'm warming up. I'm attempting to eat whatever food I have, shoving coffee in my face, putting on whatever outfit I feel like wearing that day. Something bright and colorful. Packing my bag full of maybe a change of clothes, all of my dance shoes, all of my dance clothes, my whole book full of 350 billion songs. I'm sitting on the shitty MTA, literally steaming my voice with my new steamer.
Wait. Okay, sorry. The viewers are gonna hate me because I
no,
just like you one of those bougie people that has
now I is because it works.
Oh really?
I did me a little it wasn't always that way. Once I did Riverside, which paid me lots and lots of money, hallelujah, and I was able to afford to get me a little fancy steamer. Changed the whole game for me. And now I'm literally like on the subway right before I go in the room.
Is it battery powered?
Yes, it is.
All right, we can geek out about singer shit later. Okay, so you're on the. You better believe I'm gonna be in those DMs like because that's a Celine Dion shit. Like
hello?
That's really like.
No, I swear to God, it will change your life. But
Okay, go. Okay, so you're on the train. Go.
We're trying to get out the door at 6 a.m. because you know a couple months ago I was non-equity, and which meant I had to beat the 500 other people trying to also sign up to get seen at these equity and or non-equity auditions. Multiple in a day, and probably in 3 different studios, mind you. So we're running in the morning. It's not even 7 a.m. We get down to Penn Station 30, 34, 35, 36, and then we wait in the cold, honey, until they let us in because we're not even allowed in the building yet. We're signing up on all these lists, and then we disappear for a couple of hours until the call actually starts.
That was always the roughest part for me because I'm like, what am I supposed? Especially like in the winter, I'm like, am I supposed to like wander these New York streets?
It's like freezing, and I'm like number 25 in line to sign up. It's bananas. What we actually have to do. It's almost inhumane.
Yeah. Okay, so keep going. So you wander in these vagabond shoes.
Truly.
Wander the streets of New York. You go find a Starbucks. You try to like busy yourself.
Wherever.
And oftentimes you're miles and miles away from the house. Like when
trust me, no, I have my whole life with me. There's no going home. There's no going home. Because you'll lose your spot and then you just wasted your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so you finally get into the building. You're in the building. You're number 25. What's happening then? I'm asking you like I don't know, but what's happening
Absolutely. then? If it's an equity audition, your ass is tossed to the side because you are not that, and they will see all those people first. And then when the creative team rolls in 2 minutes before the call starts, they decide if they're going to actually let you audition or not. And sometimes they say thank you very much because there's just as many as there's like 500 people, 500 non-equity, there's twice that many equity. And if they don't think they have time, and if they want to take their sweet time all day, then that's it. You go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's just say that you do get the golden ticket, and you do get to go. Okay, you get to go, and they what happens then?
You wait. Hurry up and wait. That's what everybody. That's the big old catchphrase. That's what everybody's saying. You hurry up and wait. You sit there. If it's a singer call, you're trying to keep that voice warm. You're trying to decide what you're going to sing. You're preparing.
Well, now you have your Celine Dion personal. Like, are you misting in the room?
No. Well, yes. I'm not even. Yes. Nowadays. Oh, yes.
Woo! We gotta go up for something.
It wasn't always that way. Sometimes it literally was just like God was Jesus.
Oh, you're literally grabbing the spit in the back of your throat.
Absolutely.
That's left to be like, please touch me with a bit of moisture so that I can hit this whatever the note.
You're trying to heat up a cup of water, like something.
Oh man.
Something.
Okay, so
a lemon, please.
So you get into the room, and then what happens?
You got about 2 minutes to convince these strangers that you are that bitch, that they want you, that you are just so amazing that they're willing to pay you hundreds and hundreds of dollars to sing and dance and shuck and jive and do all the things. You like that's all you get. Sometimes it's not even that long. Sometimes it could be like these 16 bars. These 16-bar cuts could be 30 seconds. Like, ma, bloop, thank you. The end. You just spent all day. You've been waiting. You've been waiting since 10 a.m. It is now 3:30 when you finally get into the room and they say, "Thank you very much."
Yeah.
Dance call. That's not even. We're not even into dance calls. Dance calls, child. You're more likely to get seen, but you're competing with Cindy Lou, whose leg is over here.
Okay.
You're competing with Fitzgerald, whose leg is over here, and
Oh my god!
you're warming up. Go ahead.
I was just say we have 3 viewers in the room right now. If you are an auditioning type, a performer type, please feel free to leave a comment down below about how you feel about this process. It's wild. I remember I can never forget this, Jamari. One time I was in there for about like 5 or 6 hours, and then they decided. And then they decided they weren't going to see everybody anymore. They were in a typecast. So we went in and we got typecast. They were like, number 1, 7, and 13. You can stay. All the rest of y'all. This is a room full of people.
Home.
All of y'all go home. But this is what they did. This is what they did, and I will never forget it. And I'm like, this will be a perfect segue for what I want to talk about. They came out with all the headshots. They were like, for those of you who are staying, feel free to stay. For those who aren't, here are your headshots. Reuse it. And they tossed them across the table. And I was like, these are, and we've seen this time and time. I've seen it many times since. I was like, but I was newly here, newly to the scene, and I was just like, let me just get my headshot on the table.
The one that headshot that I paid money for.
That I literally paid money for. And I just remember like that there are spaces where we are completely humanized, and then there are spaces where we're not humanized. And so I mean, I don't know if you have a spiritual practice or a therapy practice or anything like that. I'm not trying to get in your business, but like, what are you using to keep your heart? Like, I don't ask artists anymore, how are you? I ask them, how's your heart?
Right. Honestly, I think I rely on my friends, my family, some other things that maybe we don't have to talk about right now. You know, we all have our coping mechanisms. You know?
Yeah.
A plethora of things. I'm just constantly trying to inundate myself with something reassuring. Maybe I'll go home and sing a little song. I know I've definitely run from an audition defeated and like gone home and just like went on the YouTube and just sang my favorite song and then left it at that. You know, there can be so many things, but you need something.
Yeah, you have to have what's your go-to jam?
Ooh, I mean, honestly, anything. Of course, any musical theater song. Whatever's on my Spotify that week.
But look, I want to hold you. I want to know what the song is. What is the song? What's the bop right now?
Right now, what am I listening to right now? It's constantly changing because I'm constantly inundating myself with new music and constantly trying to learn, constantly growing, constantly learning. I literally found myself singing Green Finch and Leonard Bird, believe it or not. Just now in the shower after having the day.
What who?
Green Finch and Leonard Bird from Sweeney Todd.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Yes, indeed.
Look, you just take my musical theater card. Just take it away from me. Take it away from me. Speaking of musical theater, we have a question from India Chanel Duff. Okay, she says, if you were approached by someone of color that was deciding on whether or not they want to pursue the musical theater career, what advice would you give them?
Prepare. Be prepared. Because it's the same. It's the same as any other job in America, honey. We have to work twice as hard to get half as much. Period. Period. I can't tell you how many times I've, because what I physically present might not necessarily what comes out of my mouth. I have more of a legit classical sound and tone to myself. So I like to. So I love to sing Sweeney Todd. I love to sing Company. The Beast and Beauty and the Beast is one of my dream roles. I can.
Oh my goodness.
That's literally that's actually my go-to 16 bars. Is if I can't love her, I can sing the fuck out of it. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, and Evermore.
My God, ask me if I've ever been even like. Ask me how many times I've been kept for Beauty and the Beast. I can count on one hand.
Because of the POC dynamic.
Yes, God, they don't.
Yeah.
They just we spend so much time convincing these more than likely Caucasian casting directors that we even belong in the space. We have to spend half the time convincing them that we even belong there and changing their mind because they're just straight up not trained. These programs aren't teaching these people. My mind is going faster than my brain.
Take your time.
My mind is going faster than my brain, faster than my mouth.
Take your time.
I was just listening to. I don't know if you listened to Off Book, that podcast with Amber Iman.
No.
Get into that.
Okay.
Amber was talking about what Black women go through in musical theater and like how these wig masters can't even like understand the concept of texture of hair. Like like you have a whole degree. You have a whole degree and you don't know what an afro is. Oh my God, I'm literally thinking like I just did Hair, which is one of my dream shows, and
you look great in that. You look great in that. For those of you who want to see titties and go over to his Jamari the Beast on Instagram. Don't go now because I got 7 viewers. I don't want y'all piecing out on me. But after the show, go over to Jamari the Beast on Instagram, and he's going to give you all of the velvety
goodies.
So in Hair, what was happening in Hair?
Girl, child. There's just so many microaggressions. Like one, and I hate to talk, and I hate to put people on blast, but
don't name specific people. But like for this one story, there's 20 that are happening
Indeed.
somewhere. Yeah, Indeed. So go on.
We all know what dreads are, honey.
Right.
Dread. Tell me why this beautiful woman was forced to put on, what would you call it?
See, well, I already know it's gonna be so bad because you said what would you?
You can literally fill in the blanks. Just nothing against our Caucasian viewers, darling.
No,
but when they walk out the house, when they attempt to do that with their hair, just muss it up a little bit, maybe throw some little product in it, tease it out a little bit, and just like go and it look real crazy. Well, that's what they interpreted as the good old dread lock. I mean, if you really want to get into it,
it was like a dreadlock wig type situation.
I mean, it was nowhere near a dread.
It was a dread.
It was dreadful.
Okay, so all of this to say that there are challenges. Yeah, because we could go on and on about this.
We're like diving. I'm like segueing.
Okay, but listen. But let's also be clear when we say that like dread or dread situations or a lack of opportunities in the space, that still won't keep us from telling that Black or brown musical theater child, if you need to sing, baby, sing.
Sing your heart out. Do what you want to do, because for every 102 no's, somebody's gonna say yes.
Absolutely.
We're constantly breaking down doors, constantly breaking windows, constantly breaking glass ceilings.
Yes, we are. And more importantly, hey Phil, I see you. Phil, hi Dawn, hi India. Hi to all the rest of our viewers. If you're here and I didn't give you a shout out, just drop me a line down in the comments so I can see that you're here. This is Love City Live, where we are just creating our own. That's what I'm gonna say. If you don't see the roles, if you don't see the opportunities, if you don't see that there's even a ceiling to break through, create your ceilings. And that's what we're doing here with Love City. That's what you and I are doing tonight with this conversation. So yeah, I would tell that kid, India didn't ask me, she asked you. But I would tell that kid, like, do what you need to do to be fully expressed, because for some of us, this is like air, right?
Absolutely. Certainly for me.
Yeah. What's your dream role? I know actors don't like that question, but like, what's your dream role? What do you want to do?
So many. I would love to do LG2 professionally. I've done it twice. Like I just said, The Beast and Beauty and the Beast, because that's just bread and butter. All of Sweeney Todd. You see, I'm naming all these like legit things. All these Sondheim musicals that typically get cast in.
You're loud.
Hello. Ragtime, The Lion King.
Which role in The Lion King? Because I could see you doing the Mufasa track. I could see you doing the is it the Mufasa track?
Absolutely, Simba on a good day, honey. Because
I feel a little Simba-ish. They sent me in recently. My agent sent me in for this. What was it? It's the Caiaphas track in Jesus Christ Superstar. And I said,
that's my better. Yes, come on. That's where I am.
And I said, where? I was like, where is Jamari? Like, I would have literally just like. I would have literally.
I ain't gonna say nothing real. I ain't gonna say nothing, but you might hear some. You might hear some. Some.
Oh, okay, let me shut up. This is a lot. I'm gonna shut up, but like, okay. Oh my God. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything, but I think I think that the fact that I thought that while literally over the piano in the room.
You spoke it for me.
Maybe saying, well, stay tuned to more lives where we do a follow up with Jamari about what. Okay. Anyway. Okay. So, the next question was, what are you currently working on? But we're not talking about that. So now I'm going to open up. I want to open up more. I want to open up the floor to our 9 viewers. Are there any questions that you have? Kim Dacus Wilson, who's one of our board members, is giving me eyes because if there is a teacup in the room, I'm going to find it. It just sipped. Does any of our 9 viewers have a question for Jamari before we wrap it up? It's very, very clear. Oh, I'm getting all. This is very live. Who is calling? And can you hear that?
Yes, I can.
And the technology
sounds promising.
Wait. The technology is such. Oh my goodness. What if the technology was actually trying to get me right now? Because that sounded like a revolt to me. Anyway, any questions for Jamari? Anyone want to come on? I'm going to actually copy on and over the link for people to actually join us on here. If they want to come on into the lobby, we'll let them on to chop it up with us. Basically, I feel as I ask you these last questions that this was a mission accomplished, because all I want to do is create these spaces where even if I don't think I've seen you since 1972.
Honestly.
I think we honestly, truly, I don't think that. What year was that? Unless you have a thing with dates, I don't mind talking about dates because black don't crack. But it was like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yes.
definitely 3 or 4 years ago since I've seen you. And so anyway, I wanted to create this space. We're going to gather weekly on Wednesday evenings. Next week it's at like 9:15 because it's a California artist that needed to get off of work. So she's gonna run out of work, find a janitorial closet, and then call into Love City Live because that's what we do.
Hello.
I wanted to create a space where we can just come together weekly and just chop it up and like talk about the things that matter to us as artists and about all of the love that we have in our hearts to give. And it doesn't matter whether or not we want to be on stages, but if we don't make it to a stage day after tomorrow, we are the stage. We create our own stages, and we love each other in this way.
And thank you for creating this space for us. Just like, I mean, this is therapy. This is therapy for me. This is a coping mechanism. Just having a commonality with someone who also identifies with these struggles, and it has created this platform. You're taking your time, your resources and whatnot to do this for so many other people. That's invaluable. And so I just want to thank you.
Oh, well, I mean, I didn't mean to set the volleyball up like that. I mean,
no, not at all.
Like I said,
pitching, honey. This is me pitching.
India said, "Let's do it. Let's gather on Wednesdays and when we can and just chop it up." And I want a space where there's like 10 screens and we're all just going and talking about.
I absolutely love that.
Cool. Open invite. Come back anytime. Like I said, there's the link down there. Anybody want to copy and paste that link and then go out and come in? Like the lobby's open for you. We're recording. India says, "Let's do it." Don says Jamari needs a Love City. So this is a Love City t-shirt.
I won't sit.
And they're going to be available for sale very, very soon. I was overwhelmed. I put up a poll recently. There was the yellow and purple one, the gray and white one, and the black and white one. I put up a poll recently just to say, like, choose the flagship shirt. And people were like, when can I get one? I want the yellow and purple one. And
yellow and purple is my choice.
Oh, is that your choice? Okay. It's mine too. I mean, what it did was, and Love City is a space where we can be vulnerable and talk about our feelings and be real with each other. It was fun to like talk about the t-shirts, and it was fun to like collaborate with Dawn and making the t-shirts. Dawn, by the way, runs Cherry. I don't want to mess this up. Cherry on Top. Tees and Co. She is an alumnus of the high school I went to, and we're just in separate years. I met her. They have this really cool thing, Jamari. They have this this trailer that you can pull behind a car or a truck that's got a full t-shirt printing set up inside, so they can roll up on like your cookout. And these are like Black-owned business.
Come through, support.
Right. And I was at an anniversary event from my high school. I think it was like the 40th anniversary of my high school that I went to in Richmond, Virginia. I'm out there in my little short shorts trying to throw it left and right.
Yes.
God. And but I had on this tank, and then I saw this like set up across the street, and they were like, "Yeah, that's Dawn," and it's actually started by Dawn and her daughter, who also went to the school. Like they're partners in this, so it's like a family, right? Like wealth becoming wealth. So which I love to see. So I went over. Here's the thing, and I get chills thinking about it. You know how people just give you like a sweet presence, like they just
absolutely.
Have a sweet spirit.
We all have vibrations. We all have. You can sense people. You can see people's aura from a bajillion miles away. Like my third eye is open. My third eye been open.
Okay.
And I immediately tune into things.
I went over there just looking at the shirts and trying to hear their story. It was like towards the end of the party, so things were kind of. Was it towards the end of the party? That could be a lie. It may have been towards the end of the party. It was towards. Look, I probably had like something in my flask, so it was somewhere towards the party for me.
I would have been 3, 4, 7 in.
Listen, but the moment that I approached them and started talking to them, the sweet spirits that both mom and daughter had, and we picked out a shirt. It was the I think it said like sexy sweet. It was like a sex. Dawn, comment below and tell me what that shirt. It was like sexy sweet something about being sexy and sweet. Anyway, it was my affirmation for the day, my affirmation for life. She could tell us what it said, and then immediately I would just want to give them hugs. Anyway, they have this trailer and they run this business, and I reached out to her a couple of weeks ago and asked her to help me produce these shirts to get these off the ground, and they came back in all those colors and varieties. Dawn says, wait. Dawn says, "Tell it however you want it, however you remember it."
I'm dead.
And she sent these. She sent like I initially just wanted one in like black and black. Okay, so I wanted black and white and gray and white. And then in the box was the yellow and purple, which was off my radar. I didn't even ask for that. Like, it was completely like not even a color combination in my mind.
Hello.
She sent that. She also sent a shirt about be the blessing, like a little like hoodie for when I'm trying to get my body on fleek like yours. I don't draw comparisons, but
it's a work in progress.
And it's just been a blessing to know Dawn and to know her family and to to invite them and you and everyone else that's viewing into the Love City space. I'll share this last story and then I'll ask you my last 3 fill in the blanks that I always have for our guests as we wind down. The vision of Love City Arts actually came to me when I was angry with someone. And I was mad because I felt like offended. And I went into a space of meditation because I was getting my namaste on.
Hello.
And while sitting in that meditation, being angry at this person for something they had done.
Anger is a secondary emotion. There's something else in there.
Oh. Okay.
Somebody else told me that.
Come on, doctor. Come on.
Told me that.
What do they mean when they say secondary emotion?
Because anger is a reaction. Why are you angry? Are you like in whatever? And I don't know why I can't remember who told me, but in that particular instance,
so you're angry because
I was sad or I was hurt.
Oh,
because you were offended because of these things.
It's never the actual anger,
right?
Oh. All right, and psychology. He can twirl, he can dance, he can sing, he can shrink your shit. Like I mean, you're right though. You're right. So I was hurt and disappointed and fed up, which is the reason why I was angry.
I don't blame you.
All right. And while I was sitting there in my anger, going into my meditative space, the vision. Say it again.
I said, yes, son. Thank you.
Well, I was saying thank you. You're trying to say thank you. I got this vision of this actual city that was being built in the middle of a desert.
We can build
a beautiful city.
That's my song.
Yes. Come on. Speaking of which, I'm planning a Pride concert for Love City, and I would love for you to come and do like your best Beauty and the Beast.
Ready.
Okay, I'll email you. I'm sitting there, and in my mind, I see the vision of the city, and the city was in a heart shape. Like, it was literally in a heart shape. Like, think like Game of Thrones wall, but like in a heart shape. And at the tip of the heart was a giant gate. Think Game of Thrones, how relevant. But it had one of those little doors in it where you could like open and see.
I'm dead.
And so I opened the door. This is all happening, and I should be meditating, and this vision is like dropping down. And I open the little door, and I see this long line of people outside the gate. Doctors, lawyers, trash collectors, bums.
That wasn't Emerald City.
It may have been. I don't know what. I mean, I hadn't done any substances that day, so I don't know why all this was happening. But I see this line, and one by one, people ask, "Can I come into the city?" And I go, "Sure, open the gates, come on in." And for hundreds of people in this meditative space, people came from all backgrounds and all levels of creativity.
Wow.
And asked if they could come into the city of love and be uplifted. And when the city got at capacity, I instructed the henchmen to open, like to cut off the top, like lobe of the heart, which is graphic, like cut chop, and enlarge the city. Yes. And that's when I heard the words, Love City, a space for everyone to come and be refreshed, regardless of whatever. So that's the background on that.
That's a word.
I mean, and it's not me. It is literally you saying. I said, Jamari, would you come on and kick off this new version of the show? And he said, yeah, I will do that. Like I will, yes. Like, where do you want me? How do you want me? Like this. This man deleted apps from the phone so that he
Without
could
a
be
question.
so that he could so he could be
Bye.
here. Well, let's catch up on these comments. India says, yes, it is a secondary emotion. She receives that word. Dawn says, Jamari, if it's okay, I will get your info to send you a shirt hot off the press. India says, yes, with the clappy hands here. Dawn says, and he's cute as all get out.
Stop it.
Have you ever seen a brown man blush? You can't on Love City Live. Kim Dacus Wilson says, hope the concert will be broadcasted live. Of course it will be, because we're really just trying to get the word out. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell any creatives you know about what we're building here. Enough about all of that though. I do 3 fill in the blanks. I don't have them written down like I usually do, so I'm gonna try to wing it off the top of my head.
No problem.
Okay, here we go. Fill in these blanks for me.
Okay.
Love is.
I'll just say what was the first word that popped into my mind. Love is everything.
Love is everything.
Love is everything.
Tease it out for me. It's a great answer. Like, it's enough.
What does that mean to me? Love is kind. Love is unconditional. Love is healing. Love is you. That's the song. Love is literally everything, because all you need is love.
Yes. Joy is.
I almost just want to say joy is.
Joy is. Like, come on, tease it out for me.
This is literally coming to me as I speak. What is joy? Joy is being present in the moment, exactly where you are, and being content in that. Joy's presence. Joy's presence.
Joy's presence. Freedom is.
Freedom. Freedom is power. Freedom is power. Freedom. I almost can't express it because, and that because, a lot of times these days, we don't get to experience a lot of freedom. I think freedom is also constantly shaking, constantly changing. Freedom is invaluable. Mm-hmm.
What do you think? This is off the cuff. What do you think happens to people when they recognize their freedom?
They become their best selves. They evolve. They grow. You grow in your freedom. Just having freedom allows that growth. Because when the seed is planted in the earth and it breaks free, it has no choice but to grow up into a big old tree.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Jamari, for sharing your growth process from the crocodile, and still going, from the crocodile streets of where in Florida?
Gifford. Gifford.
Gifford.
And I make sure to say that because Gifford is the town in which Vero Beach might try to encompass and inundate,
Yeah.
But no, I come from Gifford, Florida. I came from across the tracks, honey. You know.
Wow. And look at you.
Let's not forget.
You in the city now. I think you're doing a great job. From one artist to another, and from one brother to another. I think that you're doing a great job.
Well, I couldn't do it without you.
Well, I love you. I really do.
I love you more.
I really do. I really do. I'm gonna do some announcements now, and then we'll be off. For those of you who did not catch the whole live, it's going to be available for replay on Facebook. It's also going to have live restreams and replays on Periscope, YouTube, and Twitter. Later in the week, this will be going out to hopefully reach all the land in all.
Hey, is it on? Is
this bitch recording? Yes, it was. It was. And you had awesome things to say. So the more people that can that can stand in your light and love and joy and freedom, Jamari, the better. Announcements and shameless plugs are for those who would like a weekly source of accountability and check-ins. I've created a systematic approach that's mastermind alliances. So if you want to take yourself to the next level with accountability, check out lovecityarts.org for that. For those of you who would like to just be in the know about future programming, such as the one shared today, please visit lovecityarts.org. Enter the site and sign up for our mailing list, our newsletter. I promise not to spam you because I often forget to even press send. And then I want to say a big thank you to our donors for their financial support. As you know, having these really cool, things that allow us to see comments from Dawn and India and Phil and who else commented, and Kim. Having these really cool things are not free. So thank you to our donors for helping us get the word out. Thank you to the team and the board of governors. We have a board of governors and also an advisory board. Yeah, because look, I'm not trying to be out here making these decisions on my own. I can't.
It takes a village.
These are hearts and minds of real people that I want to love on and that we want to love on. So I got to be accountable to somebody. So thank you so much to the team and board of governors and advisory boards who support and are a sounding board for me to make this org the best that it can be. And lastly, if you like the word of the word, if you like the work of Love City Arts, please spread the word. We rely on you to get the word out about what we're doing here. We're not peddling anything other than love and encouragement. I think that that's a great thing. So please let your friends, family, and fellow artists know about the work if you're moved to do so. Thanks again, everyone. And we hope to see you next time online or in person as we share the love with each other. Jamari, thank you for being my first live guest. Thank you.
It was an honor. It was a pleasure.
And we got to have you back on sometime to just chop it up. And eventually in my mind and the way the technology can work is that the screen will just be full of artists just loving on each other in public spaces because we're worth it, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
Don't let nobody tell you otherwise.
I was going to say, any final words for our viewers?
I mean, you said it. We're worth it. Period.
Bye, everybody. On that note, love you, Jamari. Love you, viewers.
I love you more.
All right. Talk soon.